Hey everyone! Oh my god, I need a haircut so bad. It's me, Angel Benton, and it's time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we dive into daytime television and we do a couple reality shows too. And today we're going to be talking all about General Hospital. You know, I love General Hospital. It's the show I've been watching the longest since 1978, right? Um, and this week was a few different interesting things happened this week on General Hospital. Uh, First of all, I've got to say, okay, so I know I talked a lot about the convention and how much the convention was just incredible, and it really was. It was the best part for me was that studio tour because the producer MK Weir, who you can see if you look on the credits, she is incredible and a wealth of knowledge. She's great, and not just about General Hospital, but also about Days. And we talked, and she's incredible. I'm not worthy. She's wonderful, and but the best part was that they let us just run around the set for 10 minutes and take pictures on the set. I mean, it was great. I had the best time. That was literally that made my gold ticket. That made it worth it. Anyways, but another thing I want to say is so James Patrick Stewart, who plays Valentin Cassadine. Okay, so Valentin Cassadine, so the actor that plays Valentin Cassadine, he's a kick-ass drummer. I didn't know that. He was playing the house band because they had a house band. It was very Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon esque, and they had a house band that would play in between the panels, and they came one night and they did a set, and they had Wally Kurth, and I knew Wally Kurth is a good singer. In fact, I saw Wally Kurth actually, who plays Ned and also plays Justin Kiriakis on Days of Our Lives at the same time, which is, I'm telling you, crossover. We need it to happen. Um, but I knew he was a good singer. I saw him in a play, a musical that they had at the La Mirada Theater, and it was called Hurry Hurry Hollywood, and he was really good in it. He was excellent. I don't. I mean, I'm not surprised he doesn't have like a Broadway career because he's really good. He's that level good. He's great. But anyway, so I knew he could sing, right? That wasn't a big surprise. But then they brought out James Patrick Stewart to play the drums, and they did Jesse's Girl. Okay, let's pause real quick. Jesse's Girl. Let's talk about Rick Springfield, because you know Rick Springfield played Dr. Noah Drake for years and years in the 80s and 70s and 80s, and then he took like 20 years off and came back to reprise the role to bring on his two sons. And what's funny is I'm finding out that there are so many people that were just obsessed with Rick Springfield. That, I mean, I was around when he was an artist. I never thought he was, I mean, he's good looking. He's not ugly. He never flicked my bick. Let's put it that way, right? I never, I didn't get it. But like Michelle Stafford, who played Nina, she talked about how she used to totally be a Rick Springfield stalker. And someone else was recently talking about, it was on Watch What Happens Live. Someone was talking about how they were a Rick Springfield stalker too, and I'm going, oh my god, that is so crazy. Like, really? I don't know. It just seems kind of odd to me. It just seems kind of weird. But hey, different strokes for different folks, right? Obviously, these people went on to have good careers, so they must have been doing something right. But anyways, so James Patrick Stewart came out and he played the drums, and he was fierce. I was like, okay, you better get it. He was pretty awesome. I was very impressed. Okay, but here's the issue that I'm having with his storyline. Okay, so this week, in terms of Valentin, we didn't see a lot of forward motion in terms of the custody hearing between, I mean, they've already made the decision, and Lulu was actually supposed to have a visit that the social worker canceled because she had some sort of family emergency. And Lulu, of course, goddamn Lulu, I swear to God, she is the best at getting in her own fucking way. Like, for real. Especially when it comes to Charlotte. She just cannot seem to get out of her own way. So she went marching over and storming over to Valentin's house. Was like, Valentin's house now. It's Windermere. And he was like, how dare you? You're trying to sabotage my custody agreement, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he checked his email and he was like, oh, well, there's an email from her. I don't give a shit. You know, so, but that isn't even the big thing. Because we didn't even really see Charlotte, I don't think, this week, except for one time with Nell. But he's got this storyline going on with Anna Devane, right? And here is the problem that I'm having with that particular storyline. Everything about that storyline is happening off camera, right? When they first met, it was off camera. You know, if they had actually met 20 years ago on camera and they showed flashbacks, it'd be a much different story. But they're not. They're rewriting history, which they're allowed to do. But then Anna's like, yeah, and I just got this information from Robert at the WSB and blah, blah, blah. We didn't see any of that either. That was off camera too. And that's present day. So that is making, it's really making it difficult for me as an audience member to buy into the Valentin Cassadine story, that particular story, the Valentin and Anna story. Now, I totally buy that he's married to Nina, and I totally buy his custody battle with Lulu over Charlotte. I'm all in on both of those stories. Just the one with Anna is a little bit of, they can do better. You know, they can't rely so much on off-camera storytelling, you know? The same thing on reality shows, too. When all this crap happens off-camera, Beverly Hills is the worst of this, but New Jersey was not that great either, and New York was also not that wonderful. A lot of crap happened off-camera that would then get referenced during the show, and that's annoying. That's annoying as a viewer, that's annoying. But anyways, c'est la vie, right? So in other stories that were happening here, so Tracy Quartermaine, this is her goodbye story. This is her swan song. And she went in search of this painting that Lord Ashton, and that was a fierce blast from the past. Excuse me. So Lord Ashton told her about this painting in Turkey that was owned by her father, and her father wanted her to have, and he was trying to get it for her for some money. He's always trying to hit her up for some money. And she was like, fuck you, I'm going to get it myself. So she grabbed Laura, because Laura's the only one she knows who speaks Turkish. And they went and they got it, and they went to this monastery. And FYI, when I was on set on General Hospital, they had that monastery bedroom set up, and no one knew what it was, and they wouldn't tell us. They were like, this is a secret set. So we're not going to tell you what it is, but just keep an eye out for it. And so that's what it was. It was that monastery set where they were at in Turkey. So I thought that was cool. A lot of people are speculating online that Tony Geary is coming back as Luke to ride off into the sunset with Tracy. Actually, I kind of hope that's not true. Because the show made such a big hullabaloo when they got rid of Luke. Not got rid of him, but when he, retired after, 40 years, you would think, okay, well, that's fine. But to bring him back after all of that, and to have him ride off with Tracy. Now, don't get me wrong, he made a great couple with Tracy, but we all know that Laura is the love of his life, right? We all get that. It's Luke and Laura. Luke and Laura had the best rated wedding on daytime history ever, not Luke and Tracy. So for him to come back and ride off with Tracy, that just pisses me off even more. I mean, I love Tracy, don't get me wrong. Jane Elliott is an incredible actress. She's very hysterical, and she also makes you feel emotions with her when she's like upset or angry or when she can't show it and she's being strong. She's phenomenal. I think she's great, but I just think that, if she wants to retire, then they need to have a separate Tracy story. Maybe a story with Tracy and Dylan and Ned and her two sons. Or maybe a story about Tracy and Monica, because now they've got this newfound friendship, kind of. Right? So, I mean, it would make more sense than to have Luke come back to ride off with Tracy into the sunset. That seems silly. Seems a little bit silly to me. But, it's just my opinion. Anyways, that's all that I have time for today. I want to say thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can also hashtag GH to talk General Hospital, or you can hashtag Pump Rules to talk Vanderpump Rules, and we'll be talking part 2 of the reunion coming up. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great night. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.